Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of our Programming Essentials course, where we're learning how to do programming with the Visual Basic Programming Language. Obviously, we're not exactly to that yet. In week 1, you were asked to perform a long checklist of things. It looks like people are pretty well along with that, so good job. I thought our introduction posts were very good. Seems like everybody has a lot of similar interests, so that makes it nice. And those are the people that you'll be navigating around in the course with here over the next semester. Okay. This week, once again, it begins on a Wednesday and it will end next Tuesday, September 13th. Okay. I think you'll find yourself with a little busier on a day-to-day basis to accomplish everything that you need to for this week. So last week, we had some people added to the class a little bit later on, and I understand that some of you had to pick a second choice for a class. So I hope this one works out for you, and I appreciate your willingness to come in at the last second. So I knew we had some people coming late, so we didn't put too much stuff in there. We're trying to do some housekeeping items, getting all our software ready and stuff. You do have, I think everybody says they're more or less taking care of that. I know we got maybe a person or two with some last minute things as far as the software goes, but you do have another week before you really need the software on a daily basis. This week, what we'll be doing is a lesson about computing basics. It's just a number of things about computers in general that I think every programmer in particular should know about computers because they're writing code for the computers. It's pretty basic stuff. So for most of you, it's probably kind of a review type of thing, although it'll probably push you a little further in some areas than you've maybe experienced before. And then you also have a journal entry for the week where you're writing at least a 5-sentence paragraph about your experiences with the week and that kind of thing, and that will be graded using the form writing rubric. Okay? A couple of things about the computing basics lesson. As you navigate your way through this lesson, it'll kind of show you how far along you are. Just gonna, so you can navigate with the forward next buttons here. You'll also notice that there's a menu over here so you can jump to a certain area. So for example, I just wanted to get there are questions embedded in here, right? But let's say you get to a question and you're like, ooh, I don't really remember reading about that. So you can jump back in there, reread the section, and then when you get to that, answer the question. Now, you can take this lesson as many times as you would like before the end of the day next Tuesday, and you will get your highest recorded score, okay? So one thing to note, though, is like if I go to a question, and let's say I answer it, and I get it wrong, you can go back and try again, put it again, but it's still going to record that answer is wrong, okay? Now, if you want to get it right and have the lesson graded as correct, you need to start at the beginning of the lesson, work your way through all the questions again. So admittedly, it's a bit annoying if you want to guarantee your 100%, which you can do. You just got to start at the beginning of the lesson, go through all the answers and answer them all correctly without any going back or anything like that, okay? Other thing I want to mention in here, there are a couple of questions that are not just your standard multiple choice or short answer or whatever. There's a couple of things in here where in this one, after you've learned a little bit more about binary, you're taking your name here and you're converting it to the decimal numbers using an ASCII chart, and then the binary numbers, basically learning what you know in the lesson about converting a decimal number to a binary, and you're typing that all out, okay? If you redo the lesson because you want to get 100%, you do not have to redo any of these long answer questions. It makes you put something in, but you can just type in there, I already answered this question in a previous attempt of the lesson, because I can see all your lesson attempts, and I can see, that you did this before, and I'll add the points for this in with your points for the other questions if you're just redoing them. So you don't have to redo these types of questions. There's 2 of them in here that are kind of like this that are going to take you a little bit of time to do. So just be aware you don't have to redo those particular ones if you're doing that, okay? If you have any questions about anything in this lesson, just make sure you send me a message. Here again, though, you do have something that's going to take you more time maybe than last week. I still think, I still think on average, most of you are not really going to be real pressed for time as much. It's kind of, things are going to ramp up a little bit more each week, is what I will say. So this week, you definitely have a little bit more to do than last week. And next week, we'll probably get into we probably will get to the point where you really need an hour a day each day of the week. And maybe for some of you, that'll be pushing it to get everything done using that class period a week. So while this one, there's a couple of things in here that could take you some time, I think for the most part, it's pretty introductory. Just here again, don't procrastinate. You would rather get going early in the week and have an end of the week that's easy versus putting it off and thinking I'll be fine and then running into trouble, right? So if you have any questions, like I said, send me a message. And then we got this week, Computing Basics. And then we'll finally get into using Visual Studio and learning some things about Visual Basic the following week. Have a good week.